Welcome. From this video onwards, we will learn the next topic, data types. As in this screen, Rust classifies data type into two, that is scalar and compound data types. Scalar type is a single value data types which has four subtypes, namely integer, floats, boolean and character. And the next type is compound type, which is a grouped values and has two subtypes, namely tuple and array. Rust is a statically typed language, which means that it must know all variables data type at compile time. The compiler can implicitly infer what type we want to use based on the value and how we use it. If a compiler can't infer data type, means we should give data type explicitly for the variables. The integer data type in Rust has various size in length. They are 8-bit, 16, 32, 64, 128 and arc size. The arc means architecture size, that is 32-bit or 64-bit architecture, and it is classified as signed and unsigned data types. Signed data types has prefix I and unsigned data types has prefix U with its size. So I8, I16, I32 up to I size are signed integers, and U8, U16, U32 up to U size are unsigned integers. Each signed variance can store numbers from minus 2 power n minus 1 up to plus 2 power n minus 1 minus 1 inclusively. So an 8-bit can store minus 128 to plus 127. The I size and U size types depends on the architecture of the computer your program is running on. Signed numbers are stored using 2's complement representation. Let us continue with our chapter 3 project. Here we have two targets, that is binary and library. I used CLine IDE for this project. We can see the outline for each module through structure panel. Here file const static fun.rs has private stat person and its implementation, and a public function const fun demo. Private entities are shown as a closed red lock and public entities are shown as a opened green color lock. Let us see the file tree in command prompt. Here cargo files and gitignore file are placed in project's root folder. .idea hidden folder is related to CLine IDE, and src folder, within that we have main.rs file and lib.rs file and part1 folder. Under part1 folder we have 5 file type submodules, and those are linked through mod.rs file and target folder and temporary files. This image shows the links between the submodules and modules and library and main files. As shown in this image, now we will continue with part 2, the data types. For that we have to add folder part 2 and mod.rs file and link it in lib.rs. The lib.rs is linked through use statement in main.rs. Here we are not create any submodule. Instead of that, we will create all our functions within this mod.rs file. Let us create function integers. Here I created two signed variables with value minus 127 and plus 127 and printed that. Here I explicitly specified data types. And run the project by double clicking on the binary project icon, and here it shows output as expected. Once again I create some integers with positive values, but now I specified integers with some specific formats, that is we can give underscore inside numbers, and we can also add data type as suffix for numbers and printed that. Kindly note it, we have many formats in Rust. and run the project from the command prompt also. We can also show numbers in different notation like hexadecimal, octal, binary, and byte format. And let us see it. And let us see the max size and min size value for U size and U64 and printed that. Here some warnings are shown as inline. These are comes from plugin inline error. Sometimes it may cause IDE error. As of unsigned 8-bit data type, it can hold values between 0 to 255. If you try to store a value outside of that range, such as 256, means integer overflow will occur. In debug mode, Rust includes checks for integer overflow that cause your program to panic at runtime. In release mode, Rust does not include checks, and the value 256 becomes 0, the value 257 becomes 1, and so on. Let us see it. Here I define mutable unsigned 8-bit variable with value 250 and gradually increase it by 1 and printed that. Let us run it in debug mode. See, it prints and shows error that attempt to add with overflow. And once again run the same project with release mode. Yes, as we expect, it loops from 0. That is 256 changed as 0, 257 changed as 1 and so on. Here we are not used the loop variable n, so we can eliminate it by replacing dash. And we can create a range by another way like I shown here. And once again run the project. It works good. Thank you.